Okay, so here's a video about if your Dewalt table saw blade won't raise or lower. Mine is a DW745 model. I don't know if this works for all models, probably. Most of the models will, but this is what's going on. So your handle, your blade won't raise or lower. You turn your handle, it's stuck. Nothing will happen. So your handle here is connected to this rod, which has a gear on it. Now I've dropped this motor, so these gears aren't connected right now, but normally these two gears would be connected. You'd spin the handle, would spin this gear, turns this, which is hooked up to basically a all-thread rod, which is considered a worm drive, which it would spin that worm drive and it would raise and lower the motor, which is connected to the blade. So the whole motor moves up and down to move the blade up and down. So right behind that all thread, that worm drive, is a guide rod, and then there's another guide rod on the other side. See, I've dropped the motor, so normally they would be right there. So typically what happens most of the time is this guide rod gets dirty or rusty, and you just need to remove the two screws at top and bottom, and you can pull it out like so and give it a cleaning. Put it back in there, and then usually your saw is going to work fine. Now if that doesn't do it, then you want to probably try to lube up this other guide rod too. I say just lube it instead of pulling it out, because it's a pain to pull out. Also, what could be happening is check your bevel gears to make sure there's no sawdust or wood chip or something crammed in there preventing them from turning. Now what I did was there was something preventing it from turning. I think it was this was dirty, because after I cleaned this it seemed to be fine. And then I broke some of these teeth off of this gear, so that's when I had to change this gear, and that involves removing the two screws for this guide rod. There's a screw at the bottom of this guide rod, and then right here this block is got two screws on the back side, which you would have to remove the blade to get to. And I have another video about how to change all this if you needed to change these guide rods. Change these bevel gears. There's a snap ring here on here that I've removed, and then when you remove this bevel gear, be careful like that you don't lose this tiny little pin. I think it's called a key that fits in that slot. That will ruin your day if you lose that guy. That keeps the gear from spinning freely on the rod. So basically that's the main things that can stop your blade from raising and lowering. But most of the time all you got to do is take the one rod that's over here opposite of the gears and clean it real good. Oil it without even removing it probably most of the time. But if it gets persistent, you probably just want to take the two screws out, take it out, and clean it real good. And that should be the only things that stop your saw blade from raising and lowering. Only other thing may be something going on with the handle, but I don't see much going on with that being stuck. You could try just oiling all that up, but I doubt that that would probably ever hardly give you any problems. Like I said, most of the time it's going to be this guide rod. Alright.